Hello and welcome to another edition of Mailbag. What is Mailbag? Well, Mailbag is a feature of the channel where you guys leave lots of comments on the channel and I attempt to answer those comments, or if I can't answer those comments, I throw it out to you guys who have more knowledge on some of this stuff than I do. So let's get into the first mailbag of this session. Remember, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Go over to Instagram and follow me there. Go over to Facebook, follow me there. That's where the normal notices are. And consider becoming a Patreon. Next comment or question comes from Gary Robertson. And he writes, in response to the Behringer marketing department started again, an SMR I did in February 2022. And he writes, but I saw the post of the other day with the Behringer Mini JP8000 and Jupiter 8, which was supposedly going on sale for $48 and $100. I'm still wondering if it's a joke. Well, it wasn't April Fool's Day, so there's a clue. As the machines literally look like toys. They do, and that was kind of worried me a bit. When I saw these, although we haven't really seen them come through the marketplace yet because of obviously chip shortages and the other supply related issues. I have to say the Behringer 909 looks really nice, and I'm still considering getting their upgrade 303 and 606 at some point. Cheers. Now the SMR, I did an SMR that was then published on the Saturday after I wrote the response, which would have been the 12th of March 2022, and it looks at the fact that Behringer have announced so many new products in that previous week. I think I counted 10 in just that 1 week, including the JP4000, which is meant to be the Roland JP8000 mini clone, the Saturn Soul, which is meant to be the Roland Jupiter 8. And while the list of features looks really good, the devil is really going to be in the detail. I think a sub $100 device actually has to be a stripped down version. You can't get all the functionality in a $100 device. Well, I don't think you can anyway. And I think I think these are kind of teasers for the larger versions of some of these synths that are going to be in the pipeline. And what I mean by stripped down, I mean things like the envelopes you can apply. So you will only have limited envelopes. You will only have things like limited effects that you can put onto it. I feel these will get you so far in terms of your creativity, but then you'll get to the point where you're longing for the bigger product, and maybe that's the reason why they're doing this. It's not like the Roland Boutique, where the boutiques are actually fully functioned mini modules. And I'm gonna start calling the boutiques desktop modules, because they really are desktop modules. I mean, mine are in their own sort of boutique cases, and then they just sit on the desktop. I've got other issues with the boutiques, but effectively they are fully functional. I mean, when I did the Juno 106 JP06A playoff, where I played both together, I've got to be honest and say there was so little difference between the boutique and the original. It was negligible in my view. But then I don't have the best ear in the world. I'm not the best ear in the world. So other people would hear the subtle differences. But to me, they were so close that almost indistinguishable. You could distinguish them, but they were almost indistinguishable. That's the way I look at it. Anyway, time will tell. There was another Behringer's post saying on one of the portals that they've stopped publishing their announcements until projects actually arrive on the shelf. So this is really Behringer starting to actually start the sausage machine and get the announcements to market. Anyway, one of the announcements that did tweak my interest in that particular week, and I'm not going to go into the Euro rack, but the boutique style instruments have yet to convince me. What I should say, but one of the ones that really interested me was the Eurorack stuff that Behringer are really putting out. but I'm not going to go into that because I'm not really a Eurorack aficionado. I've got no Eurorack personally. I do like the concept of it. I just don't have the time. I know that if I bought Eurorack, I'd have to spend the time on it, and I don't really have the time to spend on it. So I'll kind of hold myself back on that one. Anyway, sub £100, $100. Is it going to be worth it? As I say, only time will tell. But maybe it is worth a punt. Next comment or question comes from XP50 Player. And this is in response to a new Fantom for a new year video I did in March 2022. XP50 writes, "You will be pleased that the O does in fact have two MIDI DIN sockets, in out. The out has a soft through parameter. Some other omissions from the Fantom 2019, the two combi input jacks replaced by single 1/4 inch mic input and dual line jacks. This means you can only get one input effects for the single mic channel. I also only have one set of sub outs and a fewer USB A ports, one less pedal jack, whereas it was possible to use my RPU3 triple pedal plus an expression pedal on the Fantom 2019. You can't do that on the O. The O does not have the USB audio fader to be used as a 9th drawbar for the organ engine, although you can apparently allocate one of the 8 to it. No XLR outputs, much less RGB bling. Ladder LEDs gone. I don't like that. I like the ladder LEDs. Synthesis control samples section is simplified. No more zone transmit status buttons. You do have to pay extra for the AB model expansions found in the Jupiter X, and eventually free for the Fantom 219 users. Really, it's an incredible value for $14.99. Multi sampling, full organ engine, all the polyphony 128 stereo PCM, all the USB parallel audio channels, most abundant effects, save the MFX for the missing second mic input channel and missing AFX. To quote Mike Brewer from Wheeler Dealers, get it. Get in. Sorry, not get it. Get in. Alright, I got it wrong on the MIDI ports. I was looking at a screenshot and completely missed them. Not sure what happened. I did have the specification sheet in front of me when I was looking at both the Fantom and the Fantom-O. Quickly glanced at the difference and tried to understand what the O didn't have to make it that much cheaper than the 219 version, as you put it. I think the 1500 space this keyboard now makes a hell of a lot of sense. It does, really does make a hell of a lot of sense. It definitely answers the question, Nautilus or Fantom-O. If I had the money and given how much of a Korg fan I am, we'll be heading for the nearest Roland retail. So, yeah, that's kind of. I just don't. I think Fantom-O probably, if I had the money, but there is something ahead of Fantom-O in my wish list, so we shall see.